Cruiser 300 to the same spectacular climb where we have already tested most of its classmates and potential rivals. A small note about the Land Cruiser 300. This is exactly the same car I drove during Toyota's official off-road presentation. That time it was on mud terrain tires, but today it has factory tires, Bridgestone Dueler ATs. The link to this video is available in the description below. The first contestant is the 2014 Nissan Patrol. Unlike its premium cousin Infiniti QX80, the Patrol has a set of off-road attributes. Let me remind you that Infiniti was not able to conquer this climb by the most difficult line, so let's see how Nissan will cope with it. The first drive is without activation of the off-road assistance. The car reaches the first diagonal suspension, slows down almost to a full stop, and actively slips with the suspended wheels. Look at the front left wheel. Well, it took a little time for the traction control system to engage. But when it got down to business, the Patrol continued climbing with its front wheel raised up high. The next obstacle. The front left and rear right wheels are hanging in the air. A slight wheel spin, and the Patrol rushes to the top, completing its drive. Now, let's activate the low range, switch to rock mode, and lock the rear differential. The first obstacle. The Nissan stops with the suspended front right wheel and starts driving. As soon as the driver touched the gas pedal, the car immediately pushed forward as if there were no obstacles at all. Here, the driver had to add some RPMs because of insufficient grip of the skidding wheels. Only when the traction control system started clamping the front left wheel, which can be seen from its typical deceleration, there was more torque sent to the front right wheel, and the Patrol drove forward. The Nissan has no issues driving further up the hill, thanks to the long wheelbase and activated off-road arsenal. Next participant. Toyota Land Cruiser 200. This is the car I drove during the off-road presentation of the new Land Cruiser. Today, this car and the new Land Cruiser 300 will be driven by one driver who just drove the Nissan Patrol through the obstacle course. The first drive is in standard mode. The first stopping point? The rear left wheel is suspended, and the right one went deep into the wheel arc. The driver raised the revs, and the traction control system reacted immediately. It's clearly visible how the slipping wheels slow down, but this is not enough to continue driving. The traction control system cannot clamp the suspended wheels so that the loaded wheels could receive enough torque. That's why the Land Cruiser is standing still. It's time to activate the off-road arsenal. Lowered row, center lock, and rock and dirt mode. More gas. The wheel spin intensity went down. The Land Cruiser rolls back a little, and with the front wheel lifted, it drives forward with the sounds of the braking system. The second obstacle and diagonal suspension again. The driver raises the revs, and after a slight slip, the car drives forward on three wheels. But at the next point, the LC200 has to stay longer. The loaded front wheel slips, and the heavily loaded right wheel stands still, twitching helplessly due to the lack of torque. The Toyota was able to continue driving only after the front wheel stood straight. I have already noticed this feature on different cars. The traction control system is most effective when the front wheels are in a straight position. Write in the comments if this is applicable to your car too. And do not forget to indicate the make and model of the car. Meanwhile, the Land Cruiser has finished its drive and we have the next participant. The newest Land Cruiser 300 with a 3.5-liter turbocharged gasoline V6. Unlike the Land Cruiser 200, this car has stock tires and a limited slip differential in the rear axle. The LC300 starts in standard drive mode. car drives to the first obstacle, makes a stop, and then, with suspended wheels spinning, the Land Cruiser stands still. Let's activate the off-road arsenal. Switch to the low range, lock the central differential, and the rock mode in the multi-terrain select system. The Toyota immediately started driving forward with almost no wheel spin. The front right wheel went up high, and the rear left wheel reached its maximum travel. Even after stopping and standing on only 3 wheels, the new Land Cruiser continued to drive confidently. After stopping at the second point, the LC300 easily pushes further without any hint of idle wheel rotation. The car stopped at the third obstacle, and the driver set the front wheels straight. So, we won't know if the new Land Cruiser would be able to continue driving with the wheels turned, which the LC200 couldn't do. But even without this, it is clearly visible that the Land Cruiser 300 passed all the tests better than its predecessor. The next in line is a long wheelbase Range Rover with a supercharged 5-liter V8. The car has a low profile, absolutely non-off-road tires, and in the first race, by tradition, the standard mode and the air suspension is raised to the upper position.